Obviously looking forward to big game Saturday. Really pleased with how our guys played against Pitt. I thought we really defended for 40 minutes and got off to the great start, shot it well, and hopefully we'll build off some of that momentum. But know we have our hands full with North Carolina, outstanding team, playing great basketball. And you know how fast they play, how efficient they play in terms of the way they get up and down the floor, great rebounding team. But they're also a great passing team. I think sometimes that's mistaken, or not mistaken, but not talked about enough. You watch them on film and they really move the basketball and do a good job of running their offense. And they get guys to play unselfishly. Coach Williams does a great job of getting guys who are very talented players to play unselfishly. And, you know, we know we're going to have to play probably our best game of the year to win.
Coach, can you talk about the opportunity that stands in front of you tomorrow?
Yeah, obviously because of their ranking and their record and how good they are, it's, you know, it's a tremendous opportunity for a win in terms of what it means for, you know, aspirations of playing in the tournament. And our guys know that, and you know, known that for a while now. You know, so we're just excited about that game and the prospects of a great crowd in Little John and the challenge of playing a really good team.
Coach, they had 62 points in the paint the other night against Duke. Obviously Zion had something to do with that, but is that something when you watch them on film, do they really attack the
Well, I think what's hard is they're good everywhere. You know, they make 9+ threes a game. They have great one-on-one play, so whether it's in the post or whether it's out on the perimeter attacking you off the bounce, you know, they get out in transition. I mean, then obviously they crash the glass and they get a lot of points in the paint off of rebounding, transition, and then guys making plays. You know, they're not maybe as big as some of the traditional North Carolina teams of the past, but the last couple of years they haven't been quite as big. They've been very good, very skilled. You know, it's one of the more skilled teams that you play in terms of guys that can shoot it, pass it, dribble it, move it, and spread you out because of that.
It's probably a game, people like basketball, where it's going to be strength on strength. They're like to get out runs, offensive team. You want to slow it down, play defense, and be tough on the defensive side. You know, how do you see it? And if you're a basketball fan watching tomorrow, how would you like to see it?
Yeah, I think our team is more, you know, opportunistic. We're not going to racehorse like they do. We don't maybe have that many athletes to do that. Stylistically, doesn't fit us quite as well. But you know, we're not going to walk the ball up the court the whole game either. I mean, last year we didn't do that. We were aggressive when we had chances. We took, you know, early threes. We'll do that again if we have open shots. I want our guys to play aggressively and with confidence. And yeah, I mean, it's a great challenge to try to defend them. They're as good as anybody in the country at scoring, and they're, you know, every year they're one of the hardest teams to guard.
Brad, as the senior class you got these guys last time around here in Little John, next couple games, what do you tell them as they're winding down their careers here, and how do you focus them up here going into the final weeks of the season?
Yeah, I don't think you have to tell them too much. You know, we reminded them a week or so ago about, you know, hey fellas, it's probably even shorter than you realize. You know, senior day was 17 days away or something at that time, and just, you know, enjoy it. Try to enjoy the you know, the last few weeks here and embrace it, and just make sure you're playing with a sense of urgency and putting everything you have into it. And you know, our guys are doing that. Our guys have done that all year. Our guys stay after and shoot. They come early. They watch film. They work. You know, so there's no heightened work ethic or something that doing more than they were doing. In fact, now you're trying to make sure you keep guys fresh. You want them fresh. A lot of these guys are logging a lot of minutes, and you just want them, you know, excited. And they're excited by these kinds of games. They're excited by the opportunity to keep playing and you know, have a chance to challenge themselves against a great team like North Carolina.
Default.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Coach Cam Johnson shooting 47% from three. How difficult is it to guard him on the perimeter with his length?
Yeah, I mean, they're all hard to guard, and some of it is because there's so many of them. I mean, you can't just guard one player at North Carolina. There's, you know, and Kobe White can get 30. Cam Johnson can get 30. Luke May can get 30. Kenny Williams, outstanding shooter, can go for a big number. You know, that's why they're who they are, because they've got more guys than most teams that can explode for 25 or 30 points in a game. And obviously they're going to play the strengths of their team, and they share it and do a good job. Obviously Cam Johnson is very, very talented, 6'8", shoots the ball as well as anybody in our league. He's got a really good mid-range game now that he's developed. He's even doing a few things around the basket some. So, I mean, he's a big, long guy with great poise, IQ, and skill. You know, those guys are always really good players, and he's very talented.
To follow up on that defensively with David, normally in some games I've seen you kind of put David on guys and said, sick them, go get them.
Yep.
This is one of those games where you just can't do that. There's just, like you said, too many of them. How do you spread that out amongst the guys and say, guys, just take on the load?
And everybody's got to guard and do their jobs, and that's every game. You don't have a quality defense like I think we do without guys doing their jobs. Now, some guys are better at certain things than others, and we certainly try to look for things that we think can help our guys in ways, whether it's game planning or matchups or certain things we do to go into a game to try to help our guys be better. But yeah, this is one of the ultimate challenges. North Carolina comes at you with so many different guys that are explosive, and they share the ball, and they play fast, and they're aggressive, and you know that you got to really be on point to slow them down, and you know what, to be honest too, you got to hope that they don't have a great shooting night. I mean, at the end of the day, if they shoot it great, you're probably not going to win. And you watch some of the game films, and guys are guarding them well, but you know, there's some open shots that they miss, and you know, that's probably got to help happen too, some to really slow them down.
Coach Hunter had, I think, 6 threes coming into the Pittsburgh game. Made 3 big ones the other night.
Yep.
He hadn't made a couple in a few games. Do you just have a good week of practice, or?
Yeah, and it was just he's had a couple good weeks of practice, and he's just continued to get better, and he's a confident young man. You know, I just felt like it was a good game for him. I thought he would be able to find his shot, especially against the zone. You know, I was really proud of the way he defended. He got 4 rebounds, took a charge, got 2 loose balls, was involved in diving on the floor, and got 1 loose ball and kept 1 alive that Marquise ended up getting. So it's, you know, some of it with him is getting him to understand all of those things that he's got to do. He can't just come in and make a shot every once in a while. And you know, he's obviously he hasn't been an outstanding shooter all year, but we think he's going to be an outstanding shooter. And you know, he's getting more comfortable, more confident, you know, relaxed, however you want to say it. And you know, his play in other areas helped him continue to get more, got him put back in the game to where he could make more shots.
Including Hunter, how important is bench production going to be for you guys? Not only Saturday, but through the end of the regular season.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we don't have as productive of bench as some of the teams we play against. We just don't. Our guys aren't quite there yet, or that's something we're working to develop, and some of them don't get as many consistent minutes because there are so many older players playing ahead of them. But our guys need to play well. Clyde Trapp needs to play well. He needs to come in and help us. John Newman needs to come in and defend his position and make an open shot when he's got one. And Javen and Trey, our big guys, need to be physical and defend their position and rebound. And I think our guys have all had games or so where they've done it. And then they have games where they haven't played well. And we've had a couple games where none of them have played well, and that's hurt us. So absolutely, their continued good play, at least a couple of them playing consistently well, is important for our team, no doubt.
Luke May is obviously a special player, but is it fair to say that North Carolina's more of a perimeter-oriented team than they've traditionally been?
Well, they don't have the true back-to-the-basket 5-man that's 6'11" and just scores 20 a night. They don't really have that. I mean, Luke May is an outstanding player because of his versatility. He can go down there and really hurt you, and he's done that to a lot of teams over the years. But he's also can step out to three and make shots. He can drive by you. He can beat you with his passing. He beats you with his rebounding. And, you know, I'm obviously a big fan of his. I recruited him, you know, as hard as anybody for a long time. And, you know, he just kind of keeps playing. So, yeah, they're different than some of the older North Carolina teams, but the last year or two, not as different.
You had some unfortunate tip-off times this season, noon games on a weekend, 9 o'clock games during the week. How nice is it just to finally have a nice Saturday night game?
Yeah, it's exciting, and you know, our players are excited about it. I think our fan base will be. We have had some unique times. It's been a little bit challenging with a lot of 9 o'clock weekday tips and noon Saturday tips. Some folks have kids stuff they got to do in the mornings on Saturday, so that can be hard. So yeah, Saturday night game I think is great for our fans, and certainly our players are excited about it. It should be an electric atmosphere in Littlejohn.